This is the 4th grade Spanish time unit. In this unit, we'll be learning how to tell time in Spanish and reviewing numbers 1 through 60. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? This is a question that means, what time is it? Es la una. If it is in the 1 o'clock hour, so that's from 1 o'clock until 1:59, you'll say es la una to begin the time. That's to say it is 1 whatever. If it is exactly 1 o'clock, you can just say es la una. Son las. If it's anywhere from 2 o'clock until 12:59, you're going to start your sentence with son las. That's to say it is. Okay? So if it is 2 o'clock, you can say son las dos. Y media. That means half past. So if it is 1:30, you can say es la una y media. If it were 2:30, you would say son las dos y media. De la mañana. De la mañana. This means in the morning. So if it was 7 o'clock in the morning, you would say son las 7 de la mañana. If it was 1 o'clock in the morning and you happen to be awake, you'd say es la una de la mañana. De la tarde. De la tarde. This means in the afternoon. Now, it's up to you to decide when the afternoon ends and when the evening begins. But we know that noon is when the afternoon begins. So if it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you would say es la una de la tarde. If it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you would say son las 4 de la tarde. And if it was 4:30 in the afternoon, you would say son las 4:30 de la tarde. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. De la noche. De la noche. This means at night or in the evening. So again, it's up to you to decide when the afternoon ends and the evening begins. But usually I say around 5 o'clock, I start using de la noche. So if you want to say it is 5 o'clock at night or in the evening, you would say son las 5 de la noche. Now be careful with this one because there are some times that you won't be able to use de la noche. For example, es la una de la noche. It is 1 o'clock at night. Doesn't really make sense because 1 o'clock is either 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the morning. There is no una de la noche. So when you're telling time, it's really 5 steps. Step 1, you have to decide, do I begin my sentence with es la or son las? Now this is a really simple question because if it is in the 1 o'clock hour, you always use es la. And if it is not in the 1 o'clock hour, you always use son las. So if it's 1:15, you start with es la. If it is 2:20, you would start with son las. All right, your next question is, what hour is it? Is it 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We're looking to the left of the colon. What hour is it? So let's say the hour is 4 o'clock. Step 1 would be to select son las. Step 2, the hour. Cuatro. Son las cuatro. Step 3, if it is not exactly 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, one of the o'clocks, you're going to say y. And in Spanish, the way we write that is the letter Y. Y. And it means and. So if it is 1 o'clock, 1:05, you would say es la una y. And then we move on to step 4. How many minutes past the hour? So again, if it's 1:05, we would say es la una y cinco. Es la una y cinco. If it was 2:15, you would say son las 2:15. And then step 5 is to select the time of day. If it's morning, the time of day is de la mañana. If it's afternoon, de la tarde. And if it's evening, de la noche. So if it is 1:05 p.m., that would be 1:05 in the afternoon. So you would say es la una y cinco de la tarde. If it's 6:10 in the evening, you would say son las 6:10 de la noche. And if it is 8:07 in the morning, you would say son las 8:07 de la mañana. All right. Now, of course, if we're going to be telling time, we need to know our numbers 1 through 60 very, very, very well. And as we've said in past number units, you have to know the numbers 1 through 15 in order, out of order. So we're going to do a lot of practicing of that. You also have to know your decades, or counting by tens, up to 60 if you're going to be able to tell time. Hopefully you know all of your decades through 100, but for the sake of telling time, it's very important that we know 10 through 60. So numbers 1 through 15 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then our decades. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And remember, if we're making double-digit numbers, we say what's in the tens place, y, meaning and then what's in the ones place. So if it is 1:37 in the afternoon, we'd say son las uno. Es la una. Always be important to know what hour it is. Es la una. And then we want to say 37. So in the tens place, we have a 3, meaning 30. 30. Y. In the ones place, we have a 7. 7. 37. So if you want to put it all together and say it is 1:37 in the afternoon, you would say es la 1:37 de la tarde.